Mission Report TI-497S. This is a status report. I am reporting as a member of Blackwatch Identification Penny Whistle. I would like to inform our current hierarchy that we have engaged with a unknown enemy from a mysterious source. We were following a lead to a warehouse situation where numerous disappearances had happened and there was a contract to investigate. Upon investigating the perimeter, we entered inside where we encountered a torque being who seemed to have entelomorphic properties as well as a form of armor shielding built into them. The ensuing battle was rather catastrophic. The creature person, who we later identified as a daydreamer, I believe, was quite formidable. Also a magi, which I got to experience firsthand. The magi on magi combat that I have read about in the situation manual that I've been provided. Unfortunately, I had no idea that it would actually be like that. The way the well actually seemed to kind of almost form in my perception and trying to suppress it. And then the ensuing catastrophic explosion that followed was quite... Well, I really would like to go back and measure the burn marks. What is important, though, is we suffered heavy losses. At least two of our members went down. Some were a bit more injured than others. I would like to state for the record, I think Tiberius's piloting skills may need to be revisited. Perhaps the safety course gone into. He seems a bit reckless with his use of vehicles. Dracert suffered the heaviest of damages. There was a second mage on the field, it seemed, using excitation. I'm not entirely certain what the other mage was using, but I managed to suppress it the one time I saw it happen. After the combat, they seem to expel it. They seem to have another ally that sort of stopped the combat, somebody identified as Lonnie. She seemed to convey that the group that we were now encountering had information about Tisa and demanded to know and have her identify herself, which she did. During this time, I had, of course, called us off for a retreat. We had sustained heavy losses, and it looked like it was just going to be more of a high expenditure until we had more information and a better situation to fight this creature. Upon finding out they were very interested in Tisa, we also found out that they had my mother's locket. They claimed that they were following a set of encoded messages that were being left behind by people who had been taken prisoner by some sort of interesting cult group or corp that is taking people, making them entelomorphic and applying the plating, such as their friend was, and also doing some sort of lobotomizing and adjustments to the vocal cords. We have loose information on how to contact them and confirmation of how to contact us. They seem very, very interested in Tisa. I'm not sure how much she's interested in pursuing that. The one major bomb that I believe they dropped as information is they have informed Tisa that she is in fact married to Lynn, or was married to Lynn. I do not know if this information is accurate, but I do think it will have an effect on her going forward. Other than that, the other thing to note is before entering the building, there was a large, shadowy, not even sure how to describe it. It was a very long-armed, long, kind of tenderly fingers, probably about 30, 40 feet tall, shadowy apparition that was outside the warehouse, which kind of gave me this feeling of concern as we approached. I wasn't sure if it was something from Stranger or something from otherwise, but I really wanted to bring that up and get that attention in there. I will try to keep you appraised of any other information coming up regarding this new group and any of Stranger's newer antics as they occur. You already have my information about Stranger from the surgery, I believe, where he interrupted and was asking me questions. He has not since talked to me. We have really not much guidance on where to move from here. I am not sure if I should encourage Tisa to follow this information line or not. There's definite curiosity amongst the group over who we were and how that will affect who we are. End message. Message addendum. I realize I should bring this up as a definite result of the last mission. We were really caught off guard by being so overwhelmed by an enemy. We have functioned incredibly well as a group until now. We have almost kind of a democratic setup. We make decisions as a unit and then we move forward. What we weren't expecting is overwhelming odds and the need to call out orders and such like that. I did call out some orders to get things going. The major concern is we don't have any direction on who's making the split decisions. When we're in the field, we have nobody who's giving us information. So I feel that we need to, in fact, plug this leadership role with somebody, either from outside the group or from within the group. I personally think that it should be somebody from outside our group, as I think that we might be too close to the issues that we're dealing with. We're definitely fully charged, and we have some very animated individuals. If we were to consider somebody from within the group, I think I first would like to reaffirm that while BB is an amazing combatant and an all-around nice guy, somebody I'm actually very proud to consider a friend, I do not think he or Drackert would ever be able to willingly accept losses or walk away from a combat where their friends may be in danger. I do not also think that they have the acuity to measure situations to realize when it's time to cut and run. There is a point where the monetary expense is too high. Tiberius, he has a brilliant mind. He really does. He's a very talented marksman as well. But he has this really flawed mathematical system that he is very involved with. He somehow tries to attribute good and evil as some sort of algorithm and has this idea of a grand equation that honestly I think just leads to very reckless behavior. In the last combat, he used the Zamboni very brazenly versus a very large and dangerous enemy. I don't think he fully grasped how large it was, the creature he was impacting, nor how small and delicate the vehicle was he was using. It nearly killed him. It was quite dangerous. It looked very brave, of course, and he seemed very shocked that taking the risk did not yield the reward. Tisa is normally my standout choice for this. She's intelligent, she's thoughtful, she's experienced, she has lots of knowledge of going into on missions. She also has a kind of coldness that I think we need for somebody in this role. We need somebody who can distance themselves and understand that people are going to die. We are going to die. And that there is a matter of just maximizing gain versus loss in that regard. And also, it has to be somebody who can accept the fact that we're not always going to get the information. I don't know if that's going to be true with her at this point. I'm concerned about the revelation of the marital status with her and Lynn, and I've been noticing the instability of her control over her nanites. Right before we took the mission, it again manifested the small child, and she was sort of caught off guard as her, as she calls it, conscience was motioning at the mission that we ended up taking. And it is perhaps quite possible that if what these people are saying is true, that there's some part of subliminal psyche of her that is trying to catch clues being left by Lynn. Barring anything else, though, I think Tisa honestly could step into this role quite easily. I also would like to say I probably would be a fairly good person for this role. Normally, I would shy away from this as a result of my stuttering and a bit of social ineptness, but considering I'm not having that problem right now, it might not be a communication issue for me. I do feel it's a little bit egotistical to put myself forward, but I do think I can put friendships aside fairly easy for the greater good to make sure we get the right information out of a mission and the right things are pulled out. I also think I've done fairly well at following orders. Fairly. Well, okay, I've at least got a couple bad things on my record. I would also say that I should probably be discounted as well, though, because I have a current condition that is leaving me as a wild card for this. I do not know when or if the visitor will be involving himself or perhaps distracting me in my day-to-day life. So in summary, I would like to suggest that this group be assigned an outside agent who could be giving us field leadership, basically. We need somebody to call the shots and remind us to pull out, because sometimes we need to, and sometimes we're not supposed to be pulling at the information threads that are ahead of us. We don't know where to stop sometimes, or as a group we don't want to stop sometimes. So again, I look forward to hearing your response in your service. Penny Whistle.